Hello, this is obviously a video response to Mannix the Pirate's thing about regret. Uh, like I said before in all my other videos, guys, don't fucking watch it, but who gives a shit? Um, my biggest regret, well, it's kind of hard, but in all honesty, I have a lot. If it's true they said that having regret shows your humanity, well, I'm pretty much human, so. Um, my biggest regret, in all honesty, I do have a lot. There's a lot of things I've done that I wish I could really take back. Um, but I really don't know. I mean, if I had to choose one, one only, it wouldn't be one that was selfish. It wouldn't be one that was, something like obvious, like, oh, I wish I would have dated this girl over this girl. Nothing stupid like that. It'd be something, from the heart that I really, to this day, feel really bad about, and I wish I never would have done. I wish I never would have told my dad I wish he would die. Because when I told him that, it was, a couple months before he died from lung cancer. So, and it wasn't like I didn't know. I knew he had lung cancer. Back then, I was really outwardly aggressive. I used to hit, throw punches, throw shit when I was, not shit, but throw things when I was younger. And when I grew up, 8th grade, I realized I should stop doing that because it was leading me down a bad path. But I still had all this anger. So, but as I was getting older, and I fell in love with writing, and I became really good with words, and I realized, words from other people had hurt me for so long because people had made fun of me a lot, and I got picked on a lot, and I realized that the way that people were doing it to me was a really immature, really inelegant way, I guess. And when I got older, high school, I realized that words do have a very powerful effect, and I should try using words to hurt other people. And moved on from there. Like, I learned to know a lot about a person. I'd have my sources. I'd have friends, right? I'd talk to people in class, learn all these things on one person, and with a few words, I could destroy a person's pretty much high school life. Which, in all reality, someone can learn all this shit about me and say it, but I just didn't care because at the time really didn't matter to me because I was kind of in the process of switching schools. The school that I felt that was my home, just it wasn't. And then when I switched schools, that new school took me in pretty well. Had a lot of friends, a lot of friends. I mean, it was kind of a switch from being a loser to actually having a lot of people respect and like you. But I think having all those people respect and like me kind of made things worse because when I got over there, I heard a lot more people closer to me. I heard a lot of people in high school. I didn't really mean to. I just didn't want to. It's something that I did because I grew so used to hurting people because I was tired of being hurt. I was tired of not being listened to. Tired of I would say one thing and people would take it another way, and so I found my own way of getting them to understand what I was talking about. And that way was to let them know that I know their dirty little secrets, that I know their dirty laundry, their skeletons, that I knew them the way they didn't want to be known. My family, though, I made sure I never knew. Because I love my family so much, I didn't want a reason to hate them. So, in that sense, it's good that I never did anything with my family. But I still said hurtful things. My dad, I remember I had this court day because I had ditched school and I got a truancy ticket, and that was my court day. And a quick story. We go to, I wake up in the morning and I have to go do this court thing. In all honesty, I'm not pissed off. I'm just kind of depressed that I have to go to this. Kind of sad, kind of upset. It kind of irks me a little bit. And what you got to realize is my dad is a little bit more understanding when it comes to people than my mom is. In all honesty, my dad was not really a people person. My mother, on the other hand, though, she could, she's pretty cool. But when it came to realism, when it came to how the world works, she was very open, very blunt, very. It would seem like she didn't care about personal feelings. And that's the one relationship issue with my mom. Because even though my dad would not give a shit how he made me feel when we would argue, every single time after we argued, within 24 hours, we always, I would still be punished if I did something stupid. We still made up. We still tried to keep that civility. Me and my mom, though, it's like she would hold a grudge for a while. It was like she didn't care about human reasons for doing things. She just saw the logicness of people's actions, which I can understand. But it got to the point so much it was one track. Like she didn't even care that I had these emotions, and that's kind of when it came to my family why I said all of these mean things. But my dad, on the other hand, no, I said the mean things to my dad because, well, when he got angry, he wasn't the most civil person. So we go out to I go in the kitchen, say goodbye to my mom, hug, kiss, then I go to walk and take care of my thing, go out the door. But while still in the kitchen, leaving the kitchen, I kind of got my head down. I'm not sad, I'm not crying or nothing like that. I kind of have this glum look on my face. And this is the point where my mom has to add something. Like she has to, not with any intent, but just that's who she is. She has to add a little something to it, with no negative intent, but pure curiosity. She asked me, why are you so depressed or sad? Why? And I'm like, it's nothing. And in all reality, it was nothing. I should have just said, well, because my first court date, and I'm kind of nervous. I know I should take my punishment and stuff, but just a little bit on edge. I've never been in this kind of situation before. But it's just a learning experience. That would have been the mature adult thing to say. But even a normal mature adult probably wouldn't say that out of their mouth. They probably would just say, nothing's wrong. Because it's easier, it's quicker, and we get out the door faster. Well, at that point, she has to pry. Every time I tell my parents nothing's wrong, it means I really don't want to talk about it because it's really, in all reality, not a huge deal to me. And if it's not such a big deal to me, then it should be such a big deal to you. Okay? But they never understood that. She had to pry a little bit more. What's wrong? Come on, seriously. I mean, you come here, you walk around the house like this. It's not. You gotta grow up at some point. And I'm like, and I get mad, and if I remember, I think I yelled at my mom, but then I left the room, went outside, and then my dad and my dad walking with me, and then my dad, I think he said something about being nice to my mom or something, and then we started arguing with me and my dad, and then told me to get in the car, blah blah blah, and then next thing you know, I just said, I wish you would die. And I ran down to my aunt's house, and he came by and picked me up and drove me back to the house. And I remember he just had this face. It wasn't anger. It was like when you have an epiphany, when you realize something, but it's bad, it's horrible, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's just, you feel so horrible, but at the same time, it's like, you ask yourself why. He had that face on him, like you take a deep breath right before you cry, that kind of face. My dad was a tough man, but when it came to family, he was very sensitive, I guess. Looking back, that entire argument was fucking retarded because when we finally got to the courthouse, they were closed because of some Cesar Chavez Day or because something about Mexican guys and working on farms or something like that. It was like a day off for them, so it was rescheduled. Fucking waste of time, right? There was another time, a far bigger incident. Apparently, I smelled really bad one day, and the next day, like right after I took a shower, I walked downstairs. My dad called me downstairs for some odd reason, so I walked downstairs, and I see my dad. He's like, "Well, stop right there." I'm like, "Yeah, what's wrong? You need to take a fucking shower because you smell really bad." And I just took a shower. I'm kind of confused and stuff. Next thing you know, blah, 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 argue. He yells at me, go mow the lawn. I mow the lawn. I come inside. He says I'm grounded. And I'm like, no, fuck you. I wish you were dead. And that actually incident escalates a lot more, which maybe I'll tell you one day if anyone's interested. If you're interested in that story, post a comment, send me a message, something. Mace Valor signing off.